afternoon, everybody. I'm Jai.
And I'm Larry.
We're a couple of guys that love to cook. We have a show that's called Cooking with Grandma.
And today we have a lot of things going on, but our dishes today are Guatemalan oriented. And we have a salsa that we're going to have to make that goes on to a ganache. We have a rice that we're going to make. And we also have, what else are we going to do?
I'm still trying to get over the ganache. What the hell is a ganache? You're talking about ganachas?
Ganache.
Ganachas.
Ganache.
Yes, ganachas.
All right, well, let's do that
well,
again.
tell them
then.
what a ganacha is.
Ganache. Ganache is a small tortilla that has some meat and vegetables on it. And it's it was originally from Guatemala. However, there's another product called the pupusas,
Oh, nice.
which is El Salvadoran in its orientation.
Yeah.
Now, if you tell somebody a pupusas, if they're from Guatemala, they'll know that it's a regional type of thing, which is very similar to one of the four El Salvadoran pupusas, which is then a ganaches.
Man, I'll tell you, I got my face slapped for saying pupusas was Guatemalan last Saturday
I
night.
realize that, but if you look at, they don't put a meat on. The El Salvadorans will do a cheese and vegetable only. But they also, the pupusas can also be a fried product, kind of like a turnover, where they just put cheese and beans in it, they seal it, and they fry it. So it has a couple of different things, and depending on the region that you're from, is the way that they cook it.
How many regions are in Guatemala?
I don't know, but I know that there's more than one in between Guatemala and El Salvador, so however you want to do it, there's different things that, but...
Why don't you tell the folks what we're going to have with the garnachas?
Well, we're going to have rice.
Beautiful. Now, this isn't just a everyday, ordinary rice, though, is it?
It isn't.
What are we going to have? What's this rice consist of?
Well, why don't you tell us? What's the squash?
The squash is chayote squash, which I wish we had a whole one here, but I've since cut these in half, peeled them, cut them in half, and cored them. And these are, this was kind of an interesting twist. Larry and I had never had the chayote squash in anything, really, and then we had it in the rice, and we just thought it was spectacular. But we're going to have onions, tomatoes, the chayote squash, and we're going to show the people how we cook a little bit with chicken bouillon, which if you've watched a previous show of ours, we've used it in another dish. And we really love to use it in place of salt. In some cases, it gives everything a great flavor, we feel. And something like rice that's fairly bland and you boil it with water, it comes in extremely handy.
Now, the ganaches and the rice are both Guatemalan in their nature. But we're also going to put tostones in here. Now, tostones originated in Cuba. At least they take the prize for inventing them.
Yeah.
But tostones is twice fried plantains. So you fry them, squash them a little bit, refry them, and then there's a sauce that they make. And everybody makes a different sauce. But it's kind of personal, more familiar than it is regional or anything else. So that's the third thing that we're going to have that goes with this deal to make a complete meal for us.
Excellent. All right, well, before we go any further, I'm going to get started with the rice. I think we'll get that going first. The longest time cooked process that we have, I want to start with that. So I'm going to start with a little oil. Get that going in a nice hot pan. I'm going to get my onions and garlic going here. And anybody that knows Larry and myself just a little bit, we put garlic in our brownies. So if you don't like the garlic in your rice, you're not going to hurt our feelings.
And when the grandmother tells me 1 clove of garlic, I interpret that as at least 3. And by the way, our grandmother on this is Olga, who comes from Guatemala, and we appreciate all the time that she spent with us. And she's actually a cook at one of the local restaurants, and she makes these dishes on a daily basis. But now the salsa has to simmer a little bit as well, so we might as well start doing that. And what we have is We have some cilantro that's going to go into it, a little bit of bouillon. We, of course, have our cloves of garlic. We have a serrano pepper. We're going to have 6 small plum tomatoes and an onion. And I have 1 jalapeno pepper that goes into it as well. And so what we want to do is cut these up. Now, I'm not wearing gloves, and one of the things you'll find that a lot of the chefs in restaurants do is wear the latex gloves when they're cutting the jalapeno peppers or the serrano peppers, because it does kind of leave a residual oil on your hands, and God forbid you touch your eyes afterwards, which
Or use the
I
bathroom.
do. I use the bathroom. There can be some discomfort associated with that. But hey, everybody has to do what they like to do. Me, it doesn't bother me. I'm not planning on going to the bathroom. There you go.
All right, I just want to catch everybody up with the rice here. What I did was sauteed the onions and the garlic till they got soft, added the rice in, cooked it till it was opaque. Make sure you're seasoning after whatever you add. You want to make sure you keep salt and peppering. Or in this case, when we added the water, we put chicken bouillon in there. So once I get the rice to turn opaque, 2 to 1. 2 cups of water to 1 cup of rice. We're going to bring it up to a boil, cover it, let it simmer, 15, 20 minutes. All right. Oh, see that sizzling? Nice.
All right. Just try and put a chop on the onions. We want to get the vegetables all so that they shrink down in the pan, because this is a salsa that's going over all the meat, and you want it to blend in with everything. So if it's too large, it's not going to sink into the meat and the vegetables that we put on this tortilla that we're going to finally make.
Ready, brother?
I am. I'm going to throw a little more olive oil in there. I think that'd probably be wet all those onions down now a little bit.
Oh, if I only had a nickel, Larry.
I know, huh?
What do you think, Pete? Did I wet him down enough?
Okay, now I will cut the tomatoes fairly small. And again, the reason for it is I want it to become a sauce, which is the salsa that we have.
These are looking really, really good, Larry.
We'll let them stew for a little bit.
All right, good.
Yeah, after we do these, we have the chayote squash that has to be sauteed, and that will go in with some more tomatoes that you have cut there for the
Great
squash.
finishing touch, by the way. It gives it some freshness at the end.
And
then we'll finish it with some chive. How's that sound?
It sounds great. All right. And Jai, can you put a little bit of bouillon in there?
Again, with the chicken bouillon, you notice. You got to go easy with this stuff, though. You can always add. Am I right, Lawrence?
You're right. We have just about a tablespoon of white vinegar that we put in.
Perfect. That's a tablespoon right there for you people at home. We put them in shot glasses. That's how we measure everything.
All I'm doing is chopping up the cilantro right now that we're going to put into the salsa.
All right, we don't want to kill this cilantro either, so you make sure your heat's not on. You don't want to kill it. I don't know how else to put it, but
So
I don't know if
we've
that's a technical term in cooking, but that's 2 cups of water for you keeping score. Oh, yeah.
And that's going to simmer for the rest of the show now and until we're ready to use it. And that's important because that's where all the flavors kind of marry together and so forth. The water will reduce out of it over time. Everything will get soft and it'll be perfect, I'm hoping. So, all right.
So right here we're using top round. You can use stew meat, anything. You don't want to use an expensive cut of meat in this. That's all I can tell you. So nothing fancy. Right in your pot. Perfect. Honestly, this is exactly how she did it. And for you folks at home that are avid cookers, let me tell you, you're not gonna hate yourself after this one. So what we're doing is covering the beef. Slow simmer too. We're not getting too crazy with the heat on this. I'm gonna put it on the back burner, so to speak. Now, the magic, right here. Cinnamon sticks, bay leaf, oregano. Right in. Again, nothing fancy with this. Larry and I, we're all about just making things simple, cooking with grandma, back to the basics. Right in.
Now all those flavors that we just put in are actually going to be taken out. We take the meat out after it's all boiled in there and cooked and just chop it up real fine, and that's what's going to make the base that we put on top of the tortilla. And then we put the salsa on that with the vegetables and the cheese, and it's a beautiful thing.
Chayote?
Yeah, why don't we saute the chayote?
Okay.
Chayote.
So we had this sitting in some acidylated water, right, Larry?
Yep.
So what we did, we did this a couple of different ways, and what Larry and I liked best was we tried to use a French term, which, no offense to the French out there, but we don't use a lot of French terms. We tried to julienne the squash. Give it a little body, though. We didn't like them too, falling apart in there. We liked a little something to them. Oh, yeah. It's the little things in life that get me excited, Larry. We'll soften those up maybe 3-4 minutes with those. Take a look at this rice here. Oh, Larry.
Nice, huh?
That's about as perfect as rice you're going to get right there. Yeah, shredded carrot too, by the way. I think in some French cooking they tell you to blanch it, then hit it in an ice bath, keep the color. We're cooking with grandma. I just want it to cool down a little bit. As you can see, I took the rice off, and I've got the water on the burner there because basically we're just going to toss that chayote squash in with the rice. We're going to add the tomatoes.
Okay, I shredded the carrots, and now I'm going to start cutting the cabbage. And the cabbage, we just want it to be like you would cut it for a coleslaw. Just nice and thin. And then we'll cut it both ways. And around. Just nice and rough like that. But in the meantime, what I think I'll do is I'm going to put that right into the colander, which we'll put it in afterwards, just so I can cut the onions and the jalapeno that I have to do to fry up in the pan after we're done with it. So we have that there. And so when you cut it this way, you've already cut the onion essentially two ways. And so if you come through there a couple of times that way, you've already made it pretty small. And now when you come this way, it's like dicing it. So all you have to do is cut it this way a couple of times. And onions, when they get soft, they get small. So you don't have to worry about cutting them so small that they're going to disappear.
Always salt your water when you're boiling. And once you dump that in there, the time will be perfect. Chayote into the rice, tomatoes into the rice. One thing you don't have to worry about. The thing with that beef is, for lack of a better term, we're cooking the crap out of it. Go ahead.
I'm going to just put my oregano that I need right on top of my onions, and just so that it's in there. This salsa looks like it's coming along pretty well, too.
Oh, yeah. It's starting to reduce now.
Yeah. Yeah. Make sure, I'm going to put that up a little bit higher. Sauce is a very simple sauce. All it is lime juice, garlic, sour cream, and the smoked jalapenos. And
Yeah,
it
the
has
chipotle and adobo.
yeah, it has it's a very strong flavor, very hot flavor.
We played around with this sauce to try to figure out exactly what the exact composition was going to be.
Yeah.
And, you know, again, you have to go by your own taste because, you know, we like it a little bit hotter than most, I would say. But even we kicked it down, and I think that the balance between the coolness of the sour cream, the smoky, hot flavor from the chipotle and adobo sauce.
Well, that was important too, because you're talking about something that's slightly sweet, which is the plantain. They aren't sweet like a banana, but they do have a sweetness to them. And too much smokiness on them just didn't really work well. So cutting down the amount of smoked jalapenos or chipotles that we put in there was important, and I think we finally got it down to a pretty nice level.
Yeah, the balance was key. I know Tom liked it. If you notice, I threw a little salt on these while I was chopping them.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get this down. You know, personally, I tend to keep my garlic sliced. I'm not one of the advocates of, you know, garlic abuse. I'm against garlic abuse. People smashing it all over the place. But in a case like this, with this, try to get, not an actual paste out of it, but trying to get as much of the garlic juice, if you will.
Sometimes sea salt, a little coarser, helps to reduce that down a little bit better on the way that you're doing. Okay. I'm going to take the cabbage now, and I'm going to put it in take it off the stove, and I'm going to put it into the colander.
Nice. See that, Blanche? What was
Let
that,
that
5
go.
minutes?
That's it.
It's nothing, folks. But it's definitely a process you want to go through.
Take a little olive oil, put that in, and we'll get that heat, which is up already. We'll turn that down to about a medium. And the reason I'm turning it down to a medium is so that I don't choke myself. I'm going to steal this for 1 minute.
Take it away, bud.
By letting the jalapenos fry up on a high heat. Okay, yeah, now see, we've got the oil covering those, the onions and the peppers, and we'll let those just kind of simmer right in there a little bit and get nice and soft.
I've got a half dozen of those chipotle peppers out. Gonna do a little rough chop on these, Larry.
Uh-huh.
As you can see, they are real peppers. There's nothing, they went through the smoking process, which cooks them in the process.
Yeah.
How about 4 of them?
That's more than enough.
Now, you're gonna have to base your lime juice consumption by how juicy your lime is. Just gonna use a teaspoon here.
I
So
put
I'm gonna
most of that
use
right
2,
in there.
is 2, 3, that's 4 tablespoons. You can tell, we can tell by the color now, more than anything, because it was kind of orange the last time, I believe.
Right.
And we liked it a little, light pink almost.
Yes.
What do you say we get a shot of this, Peter? Got that, partner? That looks good, Larry.
Yeah, those are coming along nice. These are coming along nice.
Oh, yeah. Beauteous. All right, Larry, so now that we've got this, I added another tablespoon in here.
Mm-hmm.
But I want you to check it out because tasting is the only way to go.
I think you're right. That's delicious. That's
Talk to me,
perfect.
Goose. Nice. Okay. So I'm going to put it in a little serving dish here. When you guys try this at home, it's going to knock your socks off, believe me. All right, so I'm just going to transfer the rice over onto the same burner. Chayote right in. Tomatoes right in. Okay. Thank you. All right, now we're gonna just fold that rice over. Fold that rice over. Fold that rice over. Want to incorporate all that right in there. We're gonna keep this on a simmer. Very, very low, okay? And we're just going to let those tomatoes soften up. And
Let's take the salsa.
oh my God,
which
did
is
that
reduced
reduce
down
down nice?
nicely.
Look at that.
We'll put that on the back burner and keep it on a simmer.
Yes, sir. Can I stir your onions, so to speak?
I'd like you to stir the onions.
All right.
Okay.
I think we're tight enough now.
Now, we want to turn this up just a little bit because we're going to put the cabbage and carrots right in there now. Right in here.
Nice. That'll get some of that. The heat will dissipate some of
If you could
that.
mix that up some, Jai, that'd be great.
Absolutely. Again, that folding, using that folding method, trying to incorporate everything together nice and evenly. Again, looking for that balance.
I'm going to take some of these chives and chop them up and put them in a little dish so that we can put it on top of the rice when we're done, just as a garnish and a little bit of flavor too.
Okay, I'm going to kill the heat on this this beef, Larry.
All right?
I think we're all set. We've had that going for about, I'm going to go with 35, 45 minutes, right in that ballpark.
Mm-hmm.
That's about what Olga taught us to do. And what do you think? Plantain next?
Plantain next, Jay. I'm going to
Okay.
let you go on that.
All right, so I'm going to go with, my 1.25 inches is about like that.
I
Okay?
think that's about right. But you've always been lying.
Funny guy. All right, I'm going to try to keep them consistent, so we'll just do this. This way, if for some reason they don't look like a flower, none of them will look like a flower. All right, so that's what we're going with right there. These are fantastic. I'm not a huge plantain guy or sweets guy, but these, as you can see, my mouth's watering right now. These are fantastic. Love them.
Well, I think the nice part about it is it's not sweet like a dessert.
No, it's
just
more
has-
savory, absolutely.
Yeah, but it
Yeah.
has a sweetness to it that really, it mixes nicely with the dinner.
Yeah.
It's not something you'd say I want for dessert, but it's certainly a nice,
Oh yeah, we're cranked
Change of
up there,
flavor.
Larry.
good.
We're cranked up big time.
We
now.
need some more oil in there though, right?
Yeah, we want to have a nice little bed of oil in there, because we are frying after all, you know.
All right, well, let me take the oil.
Now, what we did was, as far as frying these, twice fried. I'm gonna have to brush up on my Spanish to know if tostones means twice fried, but they're twice fried. So what we did was, fried them as they are in their present state, took them out.
Squashed them.
Well, we let them sit.
Yes.
Let them sit, kind of, pat them dry, squash them, again with the technical term, and that's when they go back in the oil and when they look exactly like a flower.
That's right.
All right, you ready for me here?
And while you're doing that, Jai, I'm going to mix this up a little bit.
All right,
here.
boss. How's that? How's that for perfect?
That's perfect. Okay. I think while those cook, Jai, I'm going to take the beef.
Okay.
I'm going to drain the beef in the colander, cut it up, cube it real small, and
Excellent. I'm going to check on that rice real quick. See how our tomato's softening up. Oh yeah. A little crust on that. That never bothered me.
boy, I tell you, Jai, I can smell all those flavors in this.
I know it.
You have the cinnamon sticks and all that. Oh, boy.
The cinnamon, the nutmeg,
Oh, it's all right there.
that bay leaf, you got everything.
Oh, it is.
Oh, that's a great shot right there.
Yeah.
I'd never seen such beautifully boiled meat in my life.
Yeah, I mean, boiled meat, I always think of Irish, huh?
Yeah.
But
Sally can
brisket,
boil up some good meat, huh?
Sally can boil with the best of them.
All right, so this is nothing really fancy about this this dicing here. And as we were saying at the beginning of the show, Olga actually took a piece of top round, cut it in a, I don't know, what was that, about a pound we used here?
Yeah.
Pound and a half? She had a pound and a half of top round, dropped it in with everything else. We choose to go with the cubed here. It's not going to make any difference in the taste whatsoever. So whatever your fancy is or whatever is available will be fine.
You know, still one of my favorite meals that we have from my family is just macaroni with beans, pasta fazool. And I don't think you can get any less expensive than that.
Yeah, that's nice, nice. I'm going to take them off and just kind of let them rest a bit before we take them to the next stage. Yeah, you know, Larry had mentioned, you know, they're not like bananas in the way that they're not sweet, but a banana is a little too tender, wouldn't you say, Larry, to stand up to the
Oh, yeah.
abuse that I'm giving these bad boys right now?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, these are, plantains are definitely better served cooked, not uncooked. All right, you get your meat together. Plantains are ready.
Yeah, we have all the meat just put right into the bowl. It's all chopped, kind of cubed, but very small. And that's what we're looking for, because that's how we build the open face tortilla.
Now, what Olga had done, and we tried to mimic her as closely as possible, but she had the masa water mixture put together ahead of time. And what she had decided to do was, because it seems like the flour absorbs the water after a while. Now, here you go. You get this. It's corn flour is what it is, masa, and maseca is what we're using today here. But this stuff is really, it's a technique that's honed over years, and Larry and I have kind of been toying with it for, not years. So here's what I'm going to do. So we mixed up a batch together, and as you can see, you can actually even see. I don't know if you can get a shot of that, guys, but you can actually see the water. This stuff has been sitting for a while. Not days, but for a few minutes, half hour, 45 minutes. And then what we did was we got our mixture together, put a little flour in the bowl, and then added it and tried to add the dry ingredient to the wet ingredient till we got the right consistency. Was once she got to the dough to the consistency that she liked, she gave it one of these. Let me see. I think this might be a little big.
I have the pan on, by the way. They do want you to cook it in a real hot pan, too.
Real hot pan. So this was the Olga technique. All right? And this is what I come up with. Olga did not come up with this.
No.
But it came out beautiful and thin and nice. And Larry and I toyed around with it, and we figured out, you know what? We can do this. Take it away, Larry.
A friend of Olga's who was here, who was much younger and realized our inability to pat these things down, said, get a paper bag, put in a ball that's about the size of a golf ball, push it down, and then roll it out with the rolling pin, and get it to be about 4 to 6 inches in diameter. And so that's what we did.
Simple. Very, very simple.
You reach in, you take it out, and you have a tortilla.
And we're going to get them prepared so we can throw them on the skillet, get them done, and 15 minutes or so. Next thing, then we're going to go back and do our second go-round with the frying of the plantains.
If you want to, and they'll have the first time. See, they're not quite browned yet on the underside, so they're doing okay. They're coming along.
Okay, excellent. That'll give us time to put the tostones in?
Absolutely.
Okay, now these are really going to go quickly the second time around.
That's good because you have to do them twice because the pan's too small now.
All right.
Okay. Now I flipped these and see how it has the nice little spots on it like she had?
Oh, yeah, those look good.
Yeah. Now we're waiting for that to cook on the other side, which will be another 1.5 to 3 minutes, and that should be cooked through very nicely.
Excellent.
Little things sometimes mean so much. A lot of times you don't think that just a little bit of vinegar is going to mean a lot. The little bit of vinegar that you put in here means a huge amount, and if you put too much, it would taste terrible. But just the right amount makes it really nice.
And don't forget, we measured it in the old
limoncello glass.
Old Faithful. Okay, so let's go through the process here.
Sure.
Beef.
Beef.
Don't be shy. Beef. Nope. Cheese.
A little salsa. The vegetable. A little more salsa. Okay.
Baby, baby, baby.
And just a touch of cheese on that.
Pretty it up.
We're going to take this rice.
I get so excited during this part. Look at that. You know, that little crusty down the rice, I like that.
Yeah. The rice
That's
right
looking
there.
pretty good. Little tostones on the side.
Okay, let's get a little spoon out of the drawer there. Get some.
Gonna hit that tostones with a little sauce.
Absolutely.
Give it the old, excuse my fingers.
A little bit of chives on the rice.
That looks.
And that's what we have as a plate. Does that look great?
Garnachas, rice with tomatoes and chayote squash,
Tostones.
chipotle and adobo sauce with sour cream. Boom, boom.
We've got to taste it.
Once we taste it, we're gonna have to sign off because it's all over.
I'll try
Okay,
the
what
rice.
are you going? All right, I'm going in for the tostones. Oh yeah, it's crusty.
Oh, that's nice. It has the flavor of the chayote squash, which is nice and fresh, the tomatoes, the rice. I love that bouillon flavor that the it gave the rice. A
Yeah.
little chicken flavor to the rice. That's great.
All right.
And then I have to get some of this tortilla in there too to make sure
Yeah.
that we got that the right
A golf
way. huh?
ball sized
The
tortilla.
golf ball size tortilla. Fantastic.
My man.
Very good.
All right, you guys.
You can taste all of those spices from the meat in that tortilla.
Cheese, heat, the crispiness of the tortilla.
Savory.
We're gonna chow down on the rest of this stuff. Next time, we'll catch you on the next show.
Thanks for watching.
I'm Jai.
I'm Larry. We're cooking with Grandma.